Switchback. Switchback.
Hey guys, Rivethead here, and welcome to my official Q&A video. Woohoo! Yeah, I got enough suggestions and questions from everybody that looks like I'm going to be able to do it. Now, I'm trying to basically walk and chew bubblegum at the same time. So, I'm going to be playing Cube World, recording and answering questions, and trying to keep this as energetic as possible, and I have no idea if any of this is working. So, if you see the video of my face, then you know that I got that part working right. If you just hear my voice while I'm playing Cube World, then I messed up somehow. But again, I'm not perfect, and I don't ever want to claim to be. So, if you look at me looking over here, I've got all of your questions here on my other monitor, and I'm going to get to all of them. There is no specific order to them. I just grab them off of the off the video comments, and I put a couple in specific places just because I wanted to attack those ones differently. So if you guys are saying, hey, but I asked that question first, don't take offense. Like I said, there is a bit of a reasoning for what I'm doing, but it's, you know, there's no judging or anything. I don't have favorites on the channel, so don't read it that way. So first question I had that I'm going to answer is from the Cartooner69. His question was, and he says, best question yet, why am I great? So now I can take that one of two ways. It's either why am I personally great, or why is he great? And I'm assuming that he's asking it for himself, because I happen to know the Cartooner. We go back quite a few months. The reason you're a great, Cartooner, is very simple. Is that you recognized that I was amazing early on and asked me to come enjoy the Nerdvana server. That's it. You're great because you recognize greatness itself. So there. Haha! Bet you didn't expect that response. And the other question he actually asked in the initial video was, what kind of artsy things do you do other than your videos? There's a lot. The one thing that I do an awful lot of is DJ. Most people don't think that that actually is an art thing, but give it a try. It's definitely an art form, being able to mix music and make that all work and keeping people dancing. So, but the other things, like when it comes down to real art, I do some painting, but my passion is sculpture. I do love creating things in a three-dimensional thing. So I like working with clay. I've worked with wood in the past as well. I would like to work with metal one day. I just haven't yet. So there you go. Next question was from Angel Oreo. And his question is, which is better, Hawaiian pizza or pepperoni pizza? It's an odd question. I don't like cooked pineapple, so I would have to choose pepperoni pizza, even though it's boring in comparison. It's still good, but my personal favorite pizza, if I actually got to choose one, which was not asked, it would be a pizza that I had when I was in Florence, Italy, and that was tomatoes, basil, buffalo mozzarella cheese, and anchovies, and it was phenomenal. Probably one of the best pieces of pizza I've ever had in my life, and everything I've had since then is compared and failed. So unless I should have had a pepperoni pizza when I was there, but I didn't. So there you go. Next question is from Frontier, and he asks, have you ever played Binding of Isaac Rebirth, and are you ever going to make a series on it? I have not played that game, and there's a good reason for it. I've noticed in the last little while that there's been an awful lot of nostalgia for old style video games. And you got to remember, I started playing video games back in the 70s. I was little myself, and my dad brought home a TV version of Pong, and it came with a light gun, so you could shoot blocks on the TV screen as well as play Pong. I've played every iteration of home console ever since, and I don't have that nostalgia for old style game like a lot of people seem to. I'm not taking anything away from the gameplay or anything on Binding of Isaac. I think it's a very cool. I've watched a bunch of videos on it. It's just not my style because I've already played through games that look like that, and I don't really see a need to go back in time and play something that looks like it was developed 15, 20 years ago when we have so much, you know, better stuff out there these days. And, you know, I'm not saying that graphics makes for a great game. Not at all. I think Binding of Isaac Rebirth is a great game in itself. It's just that I have a hard time going back and playing something that looks like that. And that's just me. I mean, honestly, one of my favorite games of all time is going to always will be Chrono Trigger. And I would play that in a heartbeat today because of the fact that that's one game that I have nostalgia for. But, you know, new games made to look like that, I just don't see the need for it. So that's me. So next question, or questions, and they came in groups, so I'm just going to read them off as they came. From Minecraft Power Pig, what is your lucky number? That's a loaded question, but my lucky number has always been 7. I was born in July, and so I've always used 7 as my lucky number. I don't know if it's ever helped me for anything, but that's what it is. The next question was, do you prefer, and then he gave me a couple of chaptas, or whatever you want to call those, emoticons I call them, whatever. No, not chaptas, good lord, I'm an idiot. Hey, I leveled up. A video and I level up. Okay, I need the silver. What is this thing? Chocolate cupcake. I guess I have it. Emojis. That's the word I was looking for. Duh. There was a couple of emojis there. One was an angelic face. The other one was a devil face. I would choose the devil face. Just because I'm into shenanigans. And, you know, not that I'm an evil person, but it kind of had a smirk on it. So if you guys just go and check that out, I thought it was kind of cute. And the other question that Minecraft Power Pig had for me was, is the cup half empty or half full? Well, by nature, I am an optimistic person, so it would have to be half full. But that only is if you actually consider it to be a cup. What if it's a glass? Then is the glass? You wouldn't call it a cup, would you? There. So there. Ponder that one. Next one from Alex Yang. Do you like reptiles? Is that why your main pet in Cube World is a turtle and you chose a lizard as your race? Well, there was no real reasoning for me choosing this. It's not that I love reptiles. They're cool. I mean, I love dinosaurs and all that kind of stuff, so yeah, I kind of got a thing for it. I chose the character model for Rivet because I didn't want it to be just like an elf or a human or anything like that. Armor was playing as an orc and as a skeleton, so I didn't want to choose those races. So it kind of left me limited, and I chose a lizard. And I thought he was cool. As for Moves the turtle, the reason that he's there, I expressed this in one of my earlier videos. My girlfriend is a huge fan of Terry Pratchett, and in the Discworld series, there's a quote from it that's in most of the book series, and that's the turtle moves. And that's how Moves got his name. I did it as an homage to my girlfriend. And when I received Moves was just shortly after the death of Terry Pratchett. So it means a lot to me to have Moves there. You know, it means something for me because of my girlfriend. And as well, he kind of showed up like the day after Pratchett passed away. So Moves is always going to be a part of me, and I think that's kind of neat. So there we go. Next question is from Will Is Not Funny, another one of my friends from Nerdvana. What are your top 5 games? Well, I've already expressed one, Chrono Trigger. That's definitely up there. Cube World, without a doubt. It wasn't previously, but it absolutely is now. Because I've only been playing Cube World. Oh, I'll get into that later. There's a question about that as well. Another one would have to be Half-Life. Or Half-Life 2, I put those all in together. The games, Half-Life really added a cinematic aspect to video games that I hadn't seen. Again, it's a long time ago when it came out, but when it did come out, floored me. It absolutely did. So that's 3. 4 would have to be Unreal Tournament. Again, I'm looking at nostalgic gaming. Unreal Tournament was just one of those games. When the demo came out, it floored me with how much fun it was. And then when the actual game came out, it lived up to the demo and it became even more interesting. I'm not a huge fan of the later versions of Unreal Tournament. I still think that the original one is the best of the series that they did. But I did that on my Way Back Wednesdays. I went back and played Unreal Tournament and still had a blast. And that's something to be said about a game that's as old as it is. And again, for nostalgia purposes, my next game that I love that's older would have to be Quake. It was one of the very first 3D type games that came out. And when it hit for me, it like we had just regular video cards. We didn't have these highfalutin ones that we have now with GPUs and all that kind of stuff. There were like mostly business cards, but there really wasn't much in the way of like entertainment video game cards and that kind of thing. But with Quake, the 3DFX company came out with their 3DFX card, and they weren't cheap. They were a couple $100, and it was just like an add-on card. You'd plug it into your existing video card through the you plug it into your computer, and you have a cable running in the back, like a like a daisy chain type of thing, and all of a sudden the graphics just changed, and that was phenomenally game-changing. But what Quake did was it allowed me to do multiplayer for one of the first times, where I got to hang out with a bunch of friends. We'd do it in an office or at a friend's house. We'd all lug our computers around, and boom, we're playing online kind of games like what we do now, but we were doing it over a LAN back then. So yeah, there's my 5 top 10 top 5 video games. And again, could change. Who knows? I could find something amazing coming up. My favorite color. That's a tough one. I wear black a lot. Black, but it's the absence of color. So some people give me grief that that's not really a color. But if I had to choose, black is my favorite. If you're one of those people that says black's not a color, fine. Blue. There. Hope that solves it. And what is my favorite band / song right now? That's tough. Really tough. I'm kind of like when I did my DJ thing a couple of weeks ago, I started listening to Volbeat. Really funky, weird, like kind of a metal band. Love the sound of them. And the song that's been kind of stuck in my head for the last while has been Heaven Nor Hell. And just neat. So, don't know if it's my favorite of all time type of thing, but that's what's stuck in my head this week. So it'll change again, so don't worry. Okay, for our next question from Blue Hazmat Man. Do you play any board games like Warhammer? I used to. There was a time way back before my son was born that I was into some board gaming. I did not necessarily just board games. We did like a D&D type of thing with character models. We did Warhammer. I did Mech Warrior, Dungeons and stuff. There was a whole series of games that I was into at the time, and but I haven't done that in a while. I have a group of friends that do get together on a regular basis to do video game, or not to do gaming like that. And I've been kicking around the idea of going and joining them. I just haven't as of yet. So I do plan on getting into more and more of that. But like my schedule right now and timing, I don't really have a whole lot of time for board games at the moment. So, but I would love to. Next question is from Aldo Sanchez. And he asks, how old is your son, if it's not too personal to ask? Well, I asked my son, and he gave me the go-ahead. And he is 12 years old. I guess that kind of fits into my demographic, because I have quite a few kids on here, and yeah. So, and a couple of his friends watch. I know one in particular watches. He was telling me about it last night. So I'm going to say, hey guys, if you're watching, I talk about you a little bit. So yeah, my son's 12, and he's awesome. Love the guy. He's a lot of fun. Very mature for his age too, and I'm very proud of him. Every day something new happens, and he makes me more and more proud. So there we go. Next question is from, now I'm apologizing in advance. Is it Mathis or Mathige Volman? There's a group of questions here. And when did you start playing Cube World? I started playing Cube World a few months ago. I had watched the game a while, and I wanted to give it a try. And fortunately for me, I had a friend who was no longer playing the game, and he transferred the account over to me. So I was able to get a copy of Cube World, and I've been playing, what's it now, June, maybe 3 months-ish, maybe? So, yeah, not very long. But there's very few games that actually draw my attention like this one, so this is phenomenal. Love this game. Never will tire of it. Next question is, what is your favorite class weapon combination? I've only played as this warrior right now. I'm not completely psyched about the dual-handed weapon type thing. I wish I had a little bit more speed. I think for my next go, I'm going to probably go with Rogue. I like the that fast action-packed aspect that Armor has with Skeletal Time. It's more along the lines with my Twitch kind of gaming that I like to do. I mean, it's nice to have somebody that hits for a ton, but if you're hitting for a ton but you're going really slow, I love Rivet, don't get me wrong, he's awesome. But yeah, I would probably have to go Rogue, and I don't know which way I would go with weapons on that. Obviously, I'd do something different than what Armor's doing. What do you do next to making YouTube videos? Not a whole heck of a lot. This has become my hobby / passion for the last 6-7 months now. I do a lot of reading. That's another thing that I do a lot of. I used to watch movies and stuff all the time, but I just don't have any time for that. I mean, I'll sit down with my girlfriend and it will take us like 3 days to watch a movie. And that's kind of weird. But like I mentioned before, my art, my DJing stuff, I don't really do a whole lot of it. And then the other thing I do is my job, which is I'm a cook. I work in a pizza place. So it's what it is, just a job. It's not my passion, obviously. And then I'm going to actually Mr. Volman, I will say. Mr. or Miss Volman. I'm thinking math. Oh, this is such a hard. M-A-T-T-H-I-J-S. Methage? Whatever. I'm going to go Matt. That's going to make my life easier. There was one more question you asked. I'm going to hold that off to the very end. There's only one more question before that I want to get to. So, X Factor Gaming asked me, if Cube World's new update is horrible and you can't go back to the old Cube World, what would you do? I don't know. But I'm a smart guy, and I will have a backup copy of this version before I go with the update. And if it stinks, I'll suffer through it and go back to this and wait until Wally fixes it, because I'm not going to let it ruin me or ruin my passion or love for the game. Now, do I think that would happen? No. I think Wally has way too much invested in this, and the amount of detail that's gone into this, and the amount of time that he's taken between then and whenever the update comes. I can't see Wally not making this update or the new version something amazing. You know, this is alpha, and I've been playing it every day for 3 months now, basically. I can't say that about any other game. So, yeah. But I would make, if worse comes to worse, I would make it work. I would find something in it that I would love, and I would make it work for me. Now, I got to go back to Matt, the name that bugs me and drives me insane, and I apologize so much if I'm murdering your name. My real name is easy to say. It's spelt weird, so I get weird pronouncements of it all the time. So, and the last question I have that I'm going to answer in this is, would you like to play Cube World with subscribers sometimes? Yes, by all means. That has been in the works for some time. The Face Wreckers, as you may know, we do get together on a regular basis, and Armor and I both get a lot of requests for playing with you guys. And I'm all for it. There's two things that kind of get in our way. First off is Rivet is a pure pristine character. I've just used him on this world and on the world with the Face Wreckers, so I would never take him on to a public server, and because when you're on there, the levels jump like crazy, and I just wouldn't want to do that. I like to keep Rivet where he is, and my intention is to take him from 1 to 100 and then retire him for a little while and then make up a new character. So I would obviously be doing a new character, and the reason that I say that we'd have to do a public server is because of the fact that the way that we have it set up for ourselves, it's a private server just for us, and we have to use our own personal IP addresses, and there's no way we want that information to get out. Nothing against anybody here. It's not that we wouldn't trust you. It's not it at all. It's just that, you know, there's a few things that you just don't do, and that's one of them. So, you know, it's just as silly as giving up your password or something. We don't want our IP addresses getting out there. And the reason that we have it is because we trust each other. We're dedicated to our craft. We're YouTubers, and we love doing what we do. Ogre, you are going to be my last and final death. There we go. So here you are, guys. The Q&A session has been complete. And I gained a level in Cube World, which is freaking me out. So, wow, 20 minutes? I thought it would take me a lot less time. Anyway, guys, thank you so much for all your questions. Let me know what you thought of this. If you think it was fun, we can do it again in a couple of months. I've got no problems with it. If you guys want me to do it more often, I guess. I don't know. But I try to answer all the questions that I can in the comments. So please leave me comments. I love my interactions with everybody. You know, I've developed conversations with a whole bunch of you guys, and I think it's awesome. And just keep it up. You know, you guys keep my energy up, my drive to do this. You know, you guys watching and commenting and leaving likes and the new subscribers, everything. It's awesome. I started this as a way to communicate with my son, and it's blossomed into something a whole lot more. And it's not something I ever would have expected, and I love it. So I want to thank every single one of you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And I will see you soon in another episode of Cube World or whatever it is that you guys come here to watch. But you guys take care. Have a great day. Bye.
Switchback.